Hey, it's Jason, your tree pro. I'm not really feeling like much of a pro today. I'm working on the Panther Pro 2 72-inch Alaskan Sawmill, and I'm also using a Stihl 066, just kind of a Frankensaw. Sorry if my angle's not exactly great right now. Apparently I don't have the capability to reverse my camera from front to back in the same video. Apologize if this gets a little long-winded. It's been a minute since I've done any videos, and long of the short of it is I'm definitely not having an easy go at this guy. So hopefully I'm gonna call Kim Caston there at Panther Pro and just talk through some of the stuff that I've been dealing with. But overall, just been having a lot of little minor detail issues that are kind of causing everything to go to hell. So I got log over there sawed up already. That one I just took the top face off, getting ready to take the top face on this one off, and I was going to walk you through kind of how I have it all set up here, and some of the things I've learned so far. But real quick, the reason I'm doing all the tops is because that Panther Pro saw is kind of a pain in the ass to adjust in the depth. That's the depth of the bars here, these vertical bars right here. I got the 16 to 24 inch addition, extra, whatever you want to call it. You can get that so you can make bigger pieces. So anyway, as you can see, I got her screwed down right there all the way through. Each one's got a little screw on it, and my screws are a little too long. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to cut 5 inches deep and waste a bunch of wood, is I'm just going to cut in close to the screw, back the screw out, cut through and past it, then put the screw back in. That's what I did on that log over there, and it worked all right. Ran into a couple of problems on this back side, and I'll walk you through this. This here isn't OEM by any means, but you can see these little dents, maybe. I don't know if you can or not. I can get the light. Right there's a circle. Get my finger in here. That guy right there. And over here on that side, lighting's not the best. I apologize. But basically what I ran into is, as I was adjusting up and down, trying to cut the top piece and then adjust it so I could cut the next slab. Because once you cut that top piece off, you can cut whatever depth that you actually want. And long of the short of it is, it's easier, I think, just to go ahead and cut all your tops if you got a bunch of logs. I'm thinking about doing these little guys right there that are longer, possibly doing that stump back there and some pancakes, or just leaving it as one big old burly tabletop and then zooming in here. I got 2 logs over there as well. You can't really tell, but that's 2 logs bucked up already. So the idea would be get all the top cuts done, and then adjust it one time to go back and cut the rest of your lengths and everything. So this is a hand winch that I fabricated on. Saw the Samurai Carpenter had came up with a way to hook it up to his Granberg sawmill he's got, and he used something similar to this here, but we went with the ability to pull it out, and I got a bolt that goes through here if I want to just hook it up and leave it permanently, that way it don't rattle out. And then I put a loop over here to hook her to, and then I just put a pulley out there at the tailgate of the old Suburban, and there's a red bud log that I'm gonna consider milling. Just a little short guy, but something to play around with, trying to do some of the logs that nobody else is really wanting to do, kind of thing. But anyway, one big issue I've had has been the power head. It does not match the weight of the length of the bars. So the mill wants to tip this way, but it causes it to want to kind of turn up the front bar. This one right here pulls up and it makes it cut kittywampus. And I could show, you know, over here a couple of the logs I was having trouble on the first few times I was cutting, and some of the trouble I had, at least cutting solo, having somebody in able to help you out kind of thing, you know. Right there's my first, that's where it was kind of going all to hell on me. It wasn't cutting right, and it goes down to about there, but the rest of that length is still decent. But little cherry logs already cut up. That one's going next. This top is getting off now. Should be some decent little crotch figure down here. Don't know, figuring it all out. Old Matt Cremona and I can't think of the other guy I just started watching, as well as this Samurai Carpenter. Those guys have been doing it for a minute, so they definitely make it look a lot easier. Any tips that I would suggest? If you got the pocket to buy 2 mills, I would buy a smaller mill and then buy your big one for when you do the big stuff. I did not have that freedom financially to be able to buy 2, and kind of had the mindset that I would be able to grow into this one and possibly utilize it all the way up to 72 inches down the road, but it's not fun working with anything underneath. I only have a 36-inch bar on that, so I'm cutting 27 inches, maybe 28 tops, because of the waste of how the framework all sits on your bar. But yeah, anyway, the tipping, the other part is making sure your left and your right side of your frame, the verticals, are exact. So what I started doing, did not have a table saw to do so they're not perfectly exact, but I'm going to, this was something I just happened to think about while I was out here. Not those, these two right here. So what I did was I cut 2 chunks of 2x4 and wrote 4 on them. This is actually longer than 4 inches because I am setting them on the bar here and going to that bar while I adjust the depth. But because this bar and that bar, this stock and that stock, are not the same size, there's about a 1/2 inch waist addition that you have to add. So and then there is, so I'm sitting at just about 4 5/8 on that. But then there's the idea that these ladder rungs aren't at the bottom of the log, and the log doesn't sit in the same spot in every instance, whereas here it's sitting at the bottom, touching right here, but here it's touching there. So that's why I figured, instead of trying to figure out what each log is screwed, like what the depth of the screw is going into each log and all that other stuff, I'm gonna make one block to make sure I'm getting down deep in enough, and then I'm gonna just back out each and every one of the screws. A little more time consuming up front, but I am no master carpenter by any means, so trying to figure out the math of, you know, I'm using 3 1/8 inch long screws, and over here I got that first screw's probably only in about 1/2 inch, maybe 1/8 to a quarter, or a quarter to a 1/2 inch, whereas that screw is in probably 1.5 inches. So anyway, long and the short of it, that particular issue has been, it's just a hell of a lot easier just to go ahead and put them all in, get the ladder nice and secure, because the longer ladder, I found, if you don't put screws in every spot just about that you can see it touching the wood, that ladder wants to bounce like that as the saw's biting in, which causes, I'm not going to go and do it, but on that log over there, it was causing the ladder to jump over like that, which was causing like moon-shaped little grooves, and they were actually kind of cutting down like this. So it just is going to make it a pain in the ass to do any planing, or going to waste a lot of wood. you already have a bigger kerf than what you would on a bandsaw, so you're already wasting a pretty good amount. So I think that's kind of all the little tweaks and little painful lessons learned so far. I do like this rope here I picked up actually at Walmart, as a matter of fact. It's only got like a 150-ish pound load rating, I guess, but it's got a nice stretch to it. So as you're cranking with the winch, it kind of acts almost like its own little clutch system to not work the saw so much, and you can listen to the tension. And if you hear it, bogging down pretty good, then you can back it back off, because I'm running it in the middle setting instead of having it click and hold that progress for me. When I walk away from it, I'll just throw it away, or throw it into the lock position so that it's not vibrating back on me or anything like that, because I've also found that if the saw moves around too much, so like if you cut down to here and then you backed it up and then you ran it again, then it's going to cause the grain the cut that you already made, it's going to cause it to basically cut deeper. And wedges, oh my gosh, please get extra wedges, and wedge as long as you go, especially on the skinnier stuff. Maybe, I guess, maybe the bigger stuff holds better, because I only see the guys putting one here on the other side kind of thing or whatever. But I have found if I keep my wedges on the back side of that cut pretty close and just keep rotating, set them here and then cut a little bit, put some new ones in, and then pull those and get ready to go to that kind of thing, and just keep it near your saw, because having that thing drop down also causes it to dig down in. And as you can tell, maybe over here on that log, there's a couple of them. Now mind you, my stickers are actually just kind of makeshift little cuts that I did out of this piece right there. I just made my own little temporary stickers while I'm on the job site here. But that piece, from the bottom, 1, 2, and 3, the 2 and 3 one, those ones are definitely not the most even cut. So anyway, good planer. Hopefully with somebody will be able to get them worked out. And I'm not looking to make a ton of money. I just kind of learning. So anyway, been a very painful process. Sorry, it's been pretty long-winded. I have a total of about 3. I've been here physically 3 days working on this, but not full days. Today I've got like 4 hours into getting nowhere, just in the adjustment process, which led me to doing those blocks there. I've been fighting with that left and right since the beginning. So if that's the first thing I can tell you, is just go ahead and throw a couple blocks down, different lengths that you want to go ahead and do. Definitely when you're cranking down the vertical supports, do not put too much tension on them, because they will cause divots, and then it'll actually indent the side of the post. And then as you go to, say you wanted it to hit that mark right there, but your indent is causing the screw to want to center on that indent, but you're not actually gonna, the long and the short of it is, it just wants to constantly move it as this is turning. So I got a buddy that's a really good fabricator, and I'm gonna run some of these ideas through him and problems through him to him, and see what he says. Maybe we're gonna end up doing like a every 1/4 inch or every inch, 1/2 inch or something system, to where the whole bar just has a locking set to where set up to where I can basically just get it pretty close within the 1/4 inch, within the 1/2 inch, and let the rest of it be on the planing side. Not worry about being so exact, because it's just a pain to try to get it to, oh, I want this board to be 2 1/4 and I want that to be 3 1/8 or something like that. I think that pin system would also ultimately help out. Just trying to make the ease of doing the milling itself, being able to pull a pin and put it in the next spot and just go, not try to worry about it. because I bet you I've probably wasted a good, I don't know, 30 to 40% of my time just doing the adjustments, you know, and then changing chains and stuff like that. So every time you tear that mill apart, it's a nice sturdy mill. I don't want to say anything negative about the actual build itself, but it's the adjustability of the mill is an absolute pain. And I'm sure there's guys out there that'll say it's super easy or whatever, and I'm probably just some dumb redneck, and they're probably completely right about that, because I wouldn't disagree with that a bit. But just trying to figure this stuff all out myself, it definitely has not made it any easier. So anyway, I'm gonna get to cutting. Get this top cut off, and then maybe I'll pick it up at the end here and show everybody what it looks like. Thanks for watching. Alright, I don't have a video camera yet or a GoPro, so I apologize. Let's see if I can zoom. I can zoom, but that was too close. Take the glove off, make life a little easier maybe. The angle's not exactly perfect, and it's not going to be the best of shots by any means, but maybe that'll be something that'll work. Yay! Here goes nothing. Cold. Wedge, wedge, wedge. It's probably gonna dive on me a little bit, I imagine. So anyway, that's how I do her. Still learning. Disconnect this and pull her through, and I just take the mill itself off. If anybody said this was easy work, they're bullshitting. I've been doing tree work for a while now, and it ain't any easier. Maybe a little slower pace. I'd like to say a quick shout out to Matt Cremona for some of the replies. I've sent some emails to him and asked his experiences. See if my battery lasts. 4 more. But Matt's been a pretty good help. I'd like to start feeling out some of the other guys. Looks like 5 more actually. I don't even know how to count. Feeling out some of the other guys and gals on the different channels and get their updates and ideas. Oh, so if anybody sees me doing anything stupid that I could save a lot of time or effort, let me know. She's birdie. See a lot of guys doing the brooms on the log, and I find me the leaf blower tends to be my friend. The reason I like the leaf blower is especially for that log over here where it had all the holes in it and stuff. Helped me be able to blow out the debris that would have normally dulled my chain, and blew the holes out as we went. So I'm gonna stop this and then turn it around so I can get the grain. And there she is. I don't know which way YouTube likes it, so sorry for rotating on you guys. First cut on her. She's gonna be pretty, I think. That's without any water. I think I'm done for the day though. I'm out of gas and it's time for dinner. The whole fat belly's waiting for it. So anyway, time to clean up. Feel free to like my videos, subscribe, comment. Don't be too big of an asshole, but constructive criticism is welcomed. Thank you. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to add this to or have this be a separate one, but so this little log here, just a short one, nothing too special. I just cut earlier this morning, afternoon. Never mind that blue stuff there. We'll get to that just yet, but this was just a one I thought would be pretty neat because it's got these holes in her all the way through and through, and big one on this side, and might make some nice epoxy table or boards or whatever to make a table out of if I can keep it together. So maybe a big old fat bow tie across the gap and epoxy it or something, who knows. I don't know what I'm doing, but pretty neat. This has got some, looks like some spalting in it, so hopefully that'll come through in a couple of boards and make a nice little figure in it. But anyway, this reason I'm videoing this one here is when I was cutting this, I did two different cut chains. So this here is a skip chain, and down here is a regular chain. You can see, mind you, I'm still dialing this guy in, but you can see, especially in that sapwood, all the kind of uneven cuts, and it's definitely not so much over here. So the old man at the chainsaw shop told me to go full regular tooth instead of skip tooth. I thought this would be nicer to have skip tooth because then I'm not sharpening so much, and potentially even removing enough or removing more faster. But I think that's actually the problem, which is where he was probably trying to relay, is because it's cutting so much, it's actually digging in and causing it to be choppy like that, whereas that's actually more of a smoother cut. So depending on what you're looking for, that definitely did move faster down here. And right here's where we changed out, but that was different. That was because of this. I thought I was going to be a wise guy and shove these up underneath the ladder to stabilize it a lot better. That was actually, this would have been on the other side over here, so you can see. Actually, who knows? I don't even care. But ultimately, it was this way, and I was rip cutting through that treated lumber, and I'm gonna assume that there was lots of friction. I think I just heated the chain up too fast. As you can see, that staining right there is from where that went to heck on me. But changed the chain and finished her off, and she got a little bit of a to her. Part of the balance issue I've been having. So anyway, that was about it. I just wanted to kind of point out the fact that skip chain moves faster, but regular chain definitely cuts smoother. And you still get some of your this was cut with the regular chain here as well, but it's not even near, like, I think that over there is probably 2 to 3 times deeper than what these worst ones are, and these aren't bad at all. Hand plane would probably make that look pretty damn nice. So anyway, Tree Pro over and out.